Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of a One Take. So, when my son was a little child, single digits, early elementary school, so decades ago, 2 decades ago, I guess, two and some change maybe. Anyway, we used to have a nightly ritual when I would tuck him in, and he's autistic. And so at times he struggled with interacting with others and kind of feeling like he belonged. And he would act out because of that. He would try to get other folks' attention by doing something that he thought was funny or something that he thought was clever, which was neither funny nor clever for the school setting. So he struggled with ways to fit in and to really have people notice him. And so every night when I would tuck him in, the last thing I would say to him, I would look at him and go, "Who are you going to be tomorrow?" And he'd say, "Brandon." Real cheery. His name's Brandon, by the way. He would go, "Brandon." And I'd say, "What kind of Brandon are you going to be?" And he'd go, "The best Brandon I can be." I was like, "That's exactly it, buddy. You stick with that." And that is what I taught him. Be the best Brandon he can be every day. Now, fast forward that to slightly more modern times and different young folks in my life. And I've had a lot of conversations recently with my stepson about similar things. And he doesn't struggle in the same way that Brandon did, but he's at that age where you kind of want to be like other people sometimes to fit in, or you kind of want to do this just so you don't stand out. And I tell him, I said, "Here's the thing. Never lower yourself to somebody else. Always raise yourself up to the best version of you, regardless of the circumstance, regardless of who's around. Always aim to be your best self, your best version. Never allow yourself to be lowered down to someone else." And that sounds a little harsh. And I don't mean it from an elitist standpoint where it's Muffy. Go get my jacket. We're going to the club. Yes, that is my elitist rich guy voice. Obviously, my normal one is not that. But it's not meant to be that. It's not meant to make you stand out. It's meant to diminish other people, to look at other people poorly. But think about it. How many times have you come across people, situations, things like that, where they're worked up, or they're irate, or they're being assholes, or they're just not being what they should be, whatever it is. And sometimes we want to fit in with that because we don't want to stand out. That's the thing. We don't necessarily want to fit in. We just don't want to stand out. And so we lower ourselves, we lower our expectations of ourselves to that person, to that situation, to that moment, to that time, that action, whatever it is. And what we should be doing is we should be rising regardless to the best version of ourselves, because that is what the world needs. That is what you should expect of yourself. That's how you're successful. That's how you're confident. That's how people like you, the people you want to like you. And that's the secret. And so it sort of worked for my son years and years ago. And I think my stepson is picking up on it, so to speak. But just remember that. Never lower yourself to someone else or to some situation. Always rise to your best version. This has been One Take. Make it a great day. Thanks.